Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hof Bergmann Explained video. Today we're going to take a look at fishing and using the smoker. But before that, this video is brought to you by Daisy Moonbeam and Mighty Mouse 05. Thank you for being farm barons. So unlike other productions where you have a fish factory, you bring fish food, you bring some other things like maybe pallets, and you get fish in pallets or pre-packaged fish in pallets. On Hof Bergmann version 1.2, you legitimately fish on a legitimate lake with a legitimate boat. That's right. This is about as real to fishing as you can get in Farming Simulator. So let's go ahead and talk about the things you need in order to start fishing. Then we'll cover how do you fish. And then once you've collected some fish, well, what do you do with them? Well, one of the first things you're definitely going to need is a boat. And you're going to find the boat under vehicles. Conveniently, there's a category called boats. And in here we have some configuration options. We can change the name of our wonderful boat. We can change the color of our boat. And we can change the color of our name of our boat. Like that. We lastly have a choice of changing the rim color. Now, once you have a boat, obviously you need to have a pickup truck or some other way of transporting said boat down to the lake. Now, with respect to once you have the boat, if you want to smoke your fish in the smoker, you're going to need two things. One of which is going to be a bag of wood chips and or your own supply of wood chips. And the second is going to be a small box in order to transport your smoked fish. So once you have all of those things, well, you need to come down here to the lake. Let's go ahead and take a look at where that is. The lake is located here in the southwest corner of the map. And if you go to the lands, you're going to need to buy a fishing hole. So you can't lake until you own one of the 9 fishing spots that the lake has. I'm just going to go ahead and pick spot 49. It's fairly close to the dock. And once you pick that, you're going to see off in the distance, maybe you can see off in the distance, a little glowing icon that's going to represent where your fishing hole is located. And we're going to need to get our boat down into the lake. Pretty straightforward. Just like real life, you're going to back your trailer down into the lake. And then you're going to toggle and disconnect the boat from the trailer. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to hop into your boat and back it off the trailer. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and pull the trailer up out of the water. But for this video, we're just going to leave it as it is. We do have alternate camera views. So if you like driving things around in first person, you can do that. And now we're going to motor our boat out to our fishing hole. Now, one thing that you may find is if you load the map up right away and start your fishing, well, the fish population is going to be pretty low. In fact, it's probably going to be 0. So what you need to do is basically give it a little bit of time. It's now December in our gameplay, so that has been adequate time to have the fish population come up. And the reason you want to do that is just going to make it a lot faster to fish. Some control options we have left click to get into the fishing position. Now sometimes I have an issue where I can't turn off the engine, and I'm in that state right now. So we're just going to have to fish with the engine running. Clearly we would not do that in real life. Now once we left click and we get into the fishing position, we need to hit R to start the fishing process. And now it's simply a matter of time. Let me zoom out a little bit just so that It's a little less loud. And you can see down in the lower right corner, we already have 1 kilogram of fish. For this video, my target is 10 kilograms of fish. And to that end, I'm just going to fast forward a wee little bit until we get to that point. So we're at 4 kilograms. All right, we have ourselves now 10 kilograms of fish. You see we have some fish up here on the front of our boat. We're going to hit R to stop fishing. And once we've stopped fishing, we can left click to get back into the driving position. And now we can simply motor our way home. We do have a headlight. Turn on off. And if we left and right mouse button, we can rotate our spotlight just like that. Now the act of hitting the left mouse button causes my guy to go into the fishing position. But hey, you got it figured out there, right? All right, let's motor back to the dock. It's very important that when you unload your fish, you come back to the dock and you are on the left side of the dock. So when you unload your boat, you're going to be taking and putting a crate of fish to your right, and you basically are going to be placing it onto the dock. So once we are in position, we're going to hit I to unload our fish, and now we can put ourselves back onto the boat trailer. And once we have positioned ourselves on the boat trailer, we'll jump out. We'll jump in our pickup truck. We'll hit Q to now connect the boat back to the trailer. We can hit N if we want to cover the boat up. And let's open the back of the truck, because now we need to take our fish that we fished all afternoon for. We actually have 11 kilograms worth of fish. So we'll just toss that in there. Strap it down. From this point, we could sell our raw fish. And to sell our raw fish, we could take them to either the beer parlor or the village shop. Remember, we have basically 10 or 11 kilograms of fish. That's going to equate out to 10 or 11 liters of fish. So we could get $109. Is that how that's going to work out with respect to our fish? If we sold them at that price. But what we can do now is we can smoke our fish and get a lot more money out of them. Specifically, our smoked fish are going to be $14,327 or $14,869 per 1,000 liters, or $143, $148. And of course, if you had a lot of fish, then that would really, really add up. Now, the reason we have just 10 liters, or that was my target, is because the crate that we're going to use to transport our smoked fish only holds 10 liters worth of fish. So if you have, let's say, 100 liters of fish, which would be a full boatload, you would need 10 crates in order to transport those 100 liters worth of fish after you smoke them. Now there is a fish smoker at each farm on Hof Bergmann. We're going to go back to the main farm, but if you also own the secondary farm located right here, you do have a smoker located on that farm as well. I think fishing is a great little exercise to do if you're playing a realistic style gameplay. Maybe you're playing in real time, or you're playing in under a rule set where you don't permit yourself to fast forward just through days upon days upon days. And if you have absolutely nothing to do, well, get the fish and get the fishing pole and head on out to the lake and do a little fishing. You earn yourself a little bit of money that way. So now that we're back here at our smoker, we have a few triggers we need to pay attention to. Over here to our right, we have turn on smokehouse. We're not going to do that quite yet. We slide a little bit to our left, we have open oven door. That's going to be the bottom door. If we slide again a little bit more to our left, we have open smokehouse door. That's going to be the top door. Remember, the best thing to do is kind of come over here to get turn on smokehouse, and then slide over a little bit until you get your other triggers. If you just kind of walk up here and try to find them, you might not have as much luck. What we need to do is bring our fish in, and we'll put them in the smokehouse section. You'll see that they get hung up. And then we need wood chips. So there's two easy ways to get wood chips. The first easy way would be to buy the wood chips in a bag down at the shop. Right there. Or the second way would be to make your own wood chips. I'm just going to use the bag for now. There we go. And then let's just go ahead and turn on the smokehouse with R. And we've instantly lit our fire. And now we really need to close our smokehouse, because if we don't, well, smoke is going to be bellowing out of the smokehouse very, very soon. So to do that, we're going to slide over, close the oven door, close the smokehouse door, and there we go. Now, while that's cooking, let's talk about another way to make wood chips down here on the old farm. In our 1.2 update, I mentioned about this small stationary wood chipper. This wood chipper actually can be picked up if you have a forklift or something, but we're just going to use it right here. And I have pre-staged a 1 meter log. So what we can do is we can enter this, we can turn it on, and now that we have chipped our log, we can do a unload here, and we'll unload a pile of wood chips onto the ground, just like that. And then we can use something like a wheelbarrow to come and load the wood chips, and then ultimately dump them into the smokehouse. So we have our wood chips, and we can come and use our wheelbarrow to collect those wood chips, and then take them into the smokehouse this way. So we can either buy wood chips or we can make our own. Let's see if we have enough. Oh my, yeah, see the smoke that rolls out of here? That's why you need to keep that door shut. So we'll just go ahead and fast forward time a little bit and wait for these smoked fish to finish smoking. Alright, really doesn't take too long when you only have 10 fish. So now they are smoked. We need to get our little crate to pull these out. I'm going to walk up to the smokehouse. We're going to hit R to start filling. And you'll see the fish are coming off of the hooks and into our box. And now we have 11 or 10 kilograms of fish. Remember, we accidentally had 11 down at the lake. So I'll place that right there. And let's see, where's the best place to sell our fish? The village shop. That's not bad. Just a little bit of a run down to town. We need to wait till tomorrow. Open. We gotta simply back up our truck. And there we go. We made $144 off of 10 liters of smoked fish. There you go, guys. That is it in a nutshell. The simple way of fishing on Hof Bergmann on a lake. The items that you're going to need in order to do the fishing, and if you want to go ahead and further process those fish into smoked fish, how you're going to get your wood chips, and then how you're going to transport those fish out of the smokehouse over to either the parlor or the village shop. Let me know your all's thoughts down in the comments below, and until next time, happy farming.